Have you ever felt a deep yearning within your soul, a sense that you were created for something greater, yet found yourself stuck in a cycle of wanting? This feeling, though powerful, can often leave us frustrated and questioning whether our prayers will ever be answered. But what if this very desire, this longing for more, is not a sign of lack, but a divine spark? What if it's the beginning of a profound transformation, a shift from merely wanting to fully having? In this journey of spiritual growth and alignment, God invites His chosen ones to step into a higher reality, one where blessings flow effortlessly and purpose unfolds with grace. This message is a guide for those ready to embrace this shift. It's not just about changing your mindset, but about aligning with God's divine plan, living in faith, and embodying the energy of abundance. Over the next 6 parts, we will explore the essential steps to move from wanting to having, uncovering the spiritual truths and practical actions that will transform your life. First, we'll begin with understanding the divine shift itself, recognizing the sacred calling to move beyond longing and step into a life of fulfillment. From there, we'll delve into the power of desire, reframing it as a divine force that inspires growth and draws you closer to God's purpose. Then we'll explore the critical transition of shifting from wanting to having, revealing how faith, gratitude, and active participation turn prayers into reality. As we continue, we'll examine the importance of trusting divine timing, learning to surrender control and embrace the preparation God is orchestrating behind the scenes. This leads us to the role of faith and gratitude, the twin pillars that anchor us in abundance and help us navigate the waiting period with peace and certainty. Finally, we'll arrive at the ultimate destination, living in the state of having, a profound alignment with God's abundance, where desires are no longer distant dreams, but present realities. Each part builds upon the last, offering insights and actionable steps to guide you on this journey. This is not just a lesson in spiritual principles, it's an invitation to embrace your role as a co-creator with God, stepping fully into the life of abundance, purpose, and fulfillment that He has prepared for you. Are you ready to make the shift? Let's begin. Part 1. A divine shift in your life. The message begins with a profound acknowledgement directed toward God's chosen ones, emphasizing that the very act of encountering this message is not a coincidence. It speaks to the idea of divine orchestration, where God's hand has intentionally guided the viewer to hear this truth at precisely the right moment. This is a call to recognize that a transformational shift is unfolding, moving them from a state of wanting into a state of having. This transition is described as more than just a change in perspective. It is a deeply spiritual and energetic reorientation that aligns individuals with divine purpose and blessings. The video urges viewers to understand that their heartfelt prayers, innermost hopes, and long-held dreams are no longer abstract desires that exist in some distant future. Instead, these aspirations are being drawn into their current reality, stepping closer to manifestation. This shift is described as an invitation from God to fully embrace their divine purpose and the life of abundance He has planned. To do so, it is crucial to grasp how this transformation works and to align the heart and soul with its unfolding. This section encourages active engagement with the message, not just as a passive observer, but as someone ready to step into their divine potential. Viewers are prompted to take symbolic actions, liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and commenting the number 77. These acts are not just routine, they carry spiritual significance. Throughout the Bible, numbers hold profound meaning, and 77 is presented as a number of spiritual readiness and alignment. By commenting this number, viewers send a clear signal to the divine, declaring their openness to receive the blessings that are prepared for them. The narrative then draws a parallel with the story of Joshua and the walls of Jericho. In that biblical account, the walls fell when the people demonstrated unity of purpose and faith, marking their readiness to receive God's promise through symbolic action. Similarly, The act of engaging with this message becomes a declaration of readiness, a spiritual step toward alignment with divine blessings. Viewers are invited to reflect deeply on their spiritual resonance with this message. It is suggested that those who feel drawn to continue watching and truly absorb its truths are among the chosen, destined to witness a transformation in their lives. However, the video acknowledges that not everyone may feel this connection yet. For some, the timing of this truth may not align with their current journey. This, too, is part of God's plan. Ultimately, the first part of the message establishes a sense of divine timing and purpose. It creates a foundation of expectancy, encouraging viewers to stay with the message until the end, to fully embrace the shift from wanting to having. It emphasizes the importance of readiness, alignment, and faith, setting the stage for the transformational insights that follow. The tone is one of inspiration, assurance, and empowerment, reminding viewers that this is their moment to step into the divine shift that awaits them. This opening sets the stage for understanding how to move beyond mere desire and step fully into the blessings and purpose God has prepared. Part 2. The Power of Desire. Desire is presented as a sacred and divine force, not merely a fleeting wish or longing. It is a deeply spiritual realization, a signal from God that you were created for something greater. At its core, desire reflects a profound awareness of the gap between where you are and where you are divinely destined to be. This gap, however, is not a place of failure or lack. Instead, it is a sacred space where transformation begins. Recognizing this gap is the first step in understanding the power of desire and how it propels you forward in your spiritual and personal journey. Desire is often misunderstood. Many perceive it as a source of frustration, impatience, or even anxiety. It manifests as the yearning for love, financial security, success, or inner peace, those intangible goals that seem just out of reach. These feelings, though uncomfortable, are not signs of weakness. They are, in fact, divine indicators, urging you toward growth and alignment with God's greater purpose. In this context, desire is not a burden. It is the spark that ignites the fire of creation within you. Without it, there would be no motivation to grow, no push to move beyond complacency, and no call to fulfill your potential. The video draws upon the story of Hannah in 1 Samuel to illustrate the transformative power of desire. Hannah's deep longing for a child was not a sign of despair, but a divine calling. Her intense prayers and heartfelt yearning led her to the temple, where she made a vow to God. This act of faith and surrender brought her into alignment with God's purpose, and she was blessed with a son, Samuel, who became a great prophet. Hannah's story teaches that desire, when paired with faith and action, becomes a catalyst for divine blessings. Her longing was not just a personal wish, but a force that drew her closer to God and His plan for her life. This perspective shifts the narrative around desire. It is no longer something to be avoided or suppressed, but something to be understood and embraced. Desire becomes a tool that God uses to guide you, to remind you that you are meant for more. It is a sacred calling, a nudge from the divine to step into a life of greater purpose, fulfillment, and alignment with His will. When viewed through this lens, desire is not an obstacle, but a divine gift, urging you to take the next step in your journey. However, the video acknowledges that this realization is not without its challenges. Desire can feel overwhelming, especially when the object of that desire seems unattainable. The waiting period, the time between wanting and receiving, can be difficult. It is in this space that frustration and doubt often creep in, making it tempting to give up or question God's plan. Yet, this waiting period is also a time of preparation, where God is working behind the scenes, aligning circumstances and opportunities in ways that may not yet be visible. The message encourages viewers to reframe their perspective on waiting. Instead of seeing it as a period of lack or delay, it should be viewed as a time of divine preparation. This is the space where faith is tested and strengthened, where you learn to trust in God's timing and His plan for your life. It is a reminder that desire alone is not enough. It must be paired with faith, patience, and a willingness to surrender to God's greater purpose. The concept of surrender is crucial here. It is not about giving up on your desires, but about releasing the need to control how and when they will manifest. This act of surrender shifts the focus from what is missing to what is possible, from a mindset of lack to one of abundance. It allows you to trust that God knows your needs and will provide for them in His perfect timing. As the video delves deeper into the power of desire, it challenges viewers to examine their own longings. Are these desires aligned with God's will? Are they leading you closer to Him or pulling you away? This introspection is essential as it helps to distinguish between fleeting wishes and true divine callings. When your desires align with God's plan, they become a powerful force for transformation, drawing you closer to the life He has designed for you. In conclusion, the power of desire lies in its ability to inspire growth, align you with God's purpose, and propel you toward your destiny. It is not something to fear or suppress, but something to embrace with faith and understanding. By recognizing desire as a divine calling, you can move beyond frustration and impatience and step into a space of trust, surrender, and alignment with God's plan. This perspective transforms desire from a source of longing into a sacred force that leads to fulfillment and abundance. It is the starting point of a journey that, when paired with faith and action, brings you closer to the life you were meant to live. Part 3. Shifting from wanting to having. The transition from wanting to having is one of the most profound shifts a person can experience, and it begins with a change in mindset. Wanting, by its nature, keeps you in a state of lack. Each time you say, "I want this," or "I need that," you are affirming to yourself and the universe that there is something missing in your life. This mindset creates an energetic gap, a sense of incompleteness that can prevent you from fully stepping into the blessings that are already aligned for you. The key to breaking free from this cycle lies in transforming your approach to desire, moving from a state of yearning to one of gratitude and faith. This transformation begins with recognizing the spiritual truth that God already knows your needs before you ask Him. As Matthew reminds us, your Father knows what you need before you ask Him. This means that your desires are not a surprise to God. They are part of His divine plan for your life. When you shift your focus from the absence of your desires to the certainty that God is working to fulfill them, you move into a state of trust. This is not blind optimism, but a deep spiritual confidence that what you seek is already on its way. The video draws upon the teachings of Mark, where Jesus says, "Whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours." This statement is a powerful reminder that faith is the bridge between wanting and having. When you believe that your prayers have already been answered, you align yourself with the energy of fulfillment. This shift in perspective transforms desire into confident faith, enabling you to act as though your blessings are already present in your life. This is not about pretending or ignoring reality. It's about embodying the mindset and energy of someone who trusts in God's promises. The act of moving from wanting to having also requires active participation. Many people remain stuck in a state of passive waiting, hoping that circumstances will change on their own. However, stepping into the role of co-creator with God means aligning your actions, thoughts, and energy with the belief that your desires are already manifesting. This alignment is not about forcing outcomes, but about preparing for the blessings you are praying for. It's about living in a way that reflects your faith in God's timing and provision. The video uses the story of the prophet Elijah as an example of this active faith. During a severe drought, Elijah prayed for rain, but he did not stop at prayer. He sent his servant to look toward the sea repeatedly, confident that the rain would come. This persistence and preparation demonstrate the power of faith in action. Elijah did not simply hope for rain, he acted as though it was already on its way. This level of certainty and readiness is what transforms wanting into having. It shows that faith is not passive, but an active force that shapes your reality. The shift from wanting to having also involves gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful tool for manifestation because it shifts your focus from what is lacking to what is already present. When you express gratitude for your blessings, even before they fully manifest, you align yourself with the energy of abundance. This alignment accelerates the process of manifestation, drawing your desires closer to you. Gratitude is not just about saying thank you. It's about feeling and embodying the joy and fulfillment of already having what you desire. This creates a ripple effect, attracting more of what you are grateful for into your life. Another key element of this shift is the release of attachment. Often people hold on to their desires so tightly that they create resistance. This attachment stems from fear, the fear of not getting what you want, or the fear that your prayers will go unanswered. However, true faith requires letting go of this fear and trusting that God's plan is greater than your own. When you release attachment, you open yourself to receiving in ways that you may not have anticipated. This surrender is not about giving up, but about creating space for God's grace to flow into your life. The video emphasizes that this shift is not just about thoughts or words, it's about embodying a new way of being. When you truly step into the energy of having, you move differently. You think, feel, and act as though your blessings are already present. This energetic transformation bridges the gap between longing and fulfillment. It allows you to experience the peace and joy of knowing that your desires are being fulfilled, even if you can't yet see the physical evidence. In conclusion, the shift from wanting to having is a journey of faith, gratitude, and surrender. It requires a deep trust in God's timing and a willingness to let go of the mindset of lack. By aligning your energy with abundance, acting in faith, and expressing gratitude, you step into the role of co-creator with God. This transformation empowers you to move beyond passive waiting and embrace the blessings that are already on their way. It is a process of becoming, of aligning yourself with God's purpose and stepping into the life you were meant to live. This is the power of faith in action, and it is the key to unlocking the abundance and fulfillment that God has prepared for you. Part 4. Trusting Divine Timing. Trusting in divine timing is one of the most crucial yet challenging aspects of moving from wanting to having. It requires a deep surrender to the understanding that everything unfolds not according to human schedules, but in alignment with God's perfect plan. This is a lesson that challenges our natural tendencies to seek control and immediate results. When we are in a state of wanting, urgency often clouds our faith, making us impatient or doubtful. Yet, as Ecclesiastes 3:1 reminds us, to everything there is a season and a time, to every purpose under heaven. This truth calls us to trust that God's timing is deliberate, purposeful, and ultimately for our good. The video emphasizes that the desire for immediate results can become a spiritual obstacle. When blessings do not appear as quickly as we hope, it's tempting to question whether they will come at all. We may find ourselves asking, why isn't it happening yet? Or even doubting if we are deserving of the things we pray for. However, these moments of uncertainty are an invitation to deepen our faith and understanding. Delays are not denials, they are divine preparation. While we may not see it, God is working behind the scenes, aligning circumstances, opportunities, and people to fulfill His promises in ways that exceed our expectations. Divine timing is not about making us wait for no reason. It's about preparing us for the blessings we are meant to receive. Sometimes the delay is necessary because we are not yet ready to fully handle what we are asking for. God, in His infinite wisdom, knows what we need to grow and flourish. He knows when the conditions are right for our blessings to manifest in their fullest form. Trusting this process requires humility, patience, and a willingness to let go of the illusion of control. The concept of surrender is central to trusting divine timing. Surrendering does not mean giving up on our dreams or desires. It means releasing the need to control how and when they will manifest. This act of trust opens the door for God's grace to flow freely into our lives. Resistance arises when we try to force outcomes, creating tension and frustration. This inner struggle can become a barrier, slowing down the manifestation of our blessings. On the other hand, surrender creates space for miracles to unfold in ways we could never have imagined. To trust in divine timing is also to embrace the idea that there is a greater picture at play. What may seem like a delay or setback to us is often a critical part of God's plan. For example, the Bible is filled with stories of individuals who had to wait for God's promises to be fulfilled. Abraham and Sarah waited decades for the birth of their son Isaac, a promise that seemed impossible in their old age. Joseph endured years of hardship and imprisonment before rising to a position of power where he could fulfill God's purpose to save his people. These stories remind us that waiting is not wasted time. It is a period of refinement, growth, and alignment. The video encourages viewers to shift their perspective on waiting. Instead of seeing it as a time of lack, it can be viewed as a sacred space where God is preparing us for something greater. This shift in mindset transforms frustration into anticipation, impatience into peace. It allows us to trust that every step, every delay, and every obstacle is part of a divine setup, positioning us for blessings that are far beyond what we can imagine. Another important aspect of trusting divine timing is recognizing the role of faith during periods of waiting. Faith is the anchor that keeps us grounded, even when we cannot see the evidence of progress. It is a declaration that we trust in God's plan, even when it feels like nothing is happening. This unwavering faith sends a powerful signal to the universe, aligning us with the energy of abundance and drawing our desires closer to reality. The video also highlights the importance of staying open and receptive during this time. Sometimes blessings come in unexpected forms or through channels we did not anticipate. By holding on to rigid expectations, we may overlook the very opportunities God has placed before us. Trusting divine timing means being willing to adapt and embrace the unexpected, knowing that God's plan is always better than our own. Gratitude is another tool that helps us trust divine timing. When we focus on the blessings we already have, we shift our energy from lack to abundance. Gratitude reminds us that God has been faithful in the past and will continue to be faithful in the future. It helps us stay patient and optimistic, knowing that every blessing is unfolding exactly as it should. In conclusion, trusting divine timing is about surrendering control, embracing the process, and remaining anchored in faith. It is a journey of patience, humility, and gratitude, where we learn to let go of our timelines and trust in God's. By doing so, we align ourselves with His perfect plan, allowing blessings to manifest at the right time and in the right way. This trust transforms waiting from a source of frustration into a sacred act of faith, where we open ourselves to the fullness of what God has prepared for us. Through this trust, we not only receive our desires, but also grow spiritually, becoming more aligned with our divine purpose. Part 5. The role of faith and gratitude. Faith and gratitude are the pillars of moving from wanting to having, forming a foundation that supports the manifestation of divine blessings. Together, they transform how we view our desires, how we approach waiting, and how we align ourselves with God's abundance. While faith bridges the gap between longing and fulfillment, gratitude shifts our perspective, focusing our energy on the blessings we already have and the ones that are on their way. This combination creates a powerful spiritual synergy, accelerating the realization of our desires and aligning us with divine purpose. Faith, as the Bible teaches, is the assurance of things hoped for and the conviction of things not seen. It is not merely wishful thinking, it is a deep, unshakable trust in God's promises, even when evidence of fulfillment is not immediately apparent. Faith is the spiritual force that allows us to hold on to our desires with certainty, knowing that they are already aligned with God's will. It is the foundation of manifestation, the bridge that turns prayers into reality. As Jesus said in Matthew, even faith as small as a mustard seed can move mountains. This speaks to the incredible power of faith. It doesn't require grand gestures, but rather a consistent, unwavering belief. Living in faith means acting as though our desires are already fulfilled. This doesn't mean pretending or ignoring reality, but embodying the mindset and energy of someone who trusts that God is working in their favor. When we live in faith, we stop questioning whether our blessings will come and start preparing for their arrival. This mindset shift changes how we think, speak, and act. Instead of lamenting what we lack, we begin to celebrate what is already ours in the spiritual realm, trusting that it will soon manifest in the physical. Gratitude complements faith by anchoring us in the present moment and reminding us of God's faithfulness. It shifts our focus from what we do not have to what we already possess, creating a sense of abundance that aligns us with the energy of manifestation. Gratitude is not just about saying thank you, it is a practice of embodying joy and contentment for all that God has provided. When we focus on gratitude, we align ourselves with the vibration of abundance, making it easier for blessings to flow into our lives. The video emphasizes that gratitude is a powerful tool for shifting energy. When we express gratitude for our blessings, both those we have and those we are waiting for, we create an energetic resonance with the universe. This resonance acts as a magnet, drawing more blessings toward us. Gratitude transforms the waiting period from one of frustration to one of joyful anticipation. It reminds us that God has already been faithful in our lives and that He will continue to provide in ways that are beyond our imagination. Faith and gratitude also help us overcome the fear and doubt that often accompany the waiting process. It is natural to feel anxious when our desires seem delayed or distant. However, faith reassures us that God's timing is perfect, while gratitude shifts our focus away from what is missing. Together, they help us remain grounded and optimistic, even in the face of uncertainty. They remind us that delays are not denials, but opportunities for growth, alignment, and preparation. Another important aspect of faith and gratitude is their role in transforming our relationship with desire. When we desire something, it is easy to focus on the absence of that thing, reinforcing a sense of lack. However, faith and gratitude help us see desire not as a void, but as a divine calling. They teach us to hold our desires lightly, trusting that God will fulfill them in the best way and at the best time. This trust frees us from the need to control every aspect of the process, allowing us to surrender to God's greater plan. The video also highlights the importance of expressing gratitude even before our desires manifest. This practice, often referred to as gratitude in advance, is a declaration of faith. By thanking God for blessings as though they are already ours, we align ourselves with the reality of having. This mindset is supported by Mark, where Jesus encourages us to believe that we have received what we ask for in prayer. Gratitude in advance is a powerful affirmation of this truth, signaling to the universe that we are ready to receive. Faith and gratitude are not just tools for manifestation, they are also transformative spiritual practices. They change how we view the world and our place in it, helping us recognize the abundance that already surrounds us. They deepen our connection with God, reminding us of His faithfulness and love. They also foster a sense of peace and contentment, reducing the anxiety and impatience that often accompany the pursuit of desires. In conclusion, faith and gratitude are essential for shifting from wanting to having. Faith bridges the gap between longing and fulfillment, while gratitude anchors us in the present moment and aligns us with abundance. Together, they create a powerful spiritual framework that transforms our relationship with desire, helping us trust in God's plan and timing. By practicing faith and gratitude, we not only accelerate the manifestation of our desires, but also deepen our spiritual growth, aligning ourselves with the life God has designed for us. This is the true power of faith and gratitude. They don't just change our circumstances, they change us. Part 6. Living in the state of having. Living in the state of having is about embodying the energy of abundance, fulfillment and gratitude, regardless of your current circumstances. It requires shifting from a mindset of lack to one of divine completeness, where you recognize that everything you desire is already aligning with God's perfect plan. This is not about ignoring reality, but about transcending it by aligning your thoughts, emotions and actions with the belief that your prayers have already been answered. This shift is profound, as it transforms not only how you approach life, but also how blessings manifest effortlessly around you. The state of having is rooted in the understanding that God's abundance is infinite and that you are already a recipient of His grace. When you live in this state, you stop seeing your desires as distant goals and start seeing them as blessings already on their way to you. This mindset is anchored in faith, trust, and gratitude, creating a powerful alignment with God's divine flow. It is a spiritual declaration that you are no longer waiting for external validation or evidence to believe in God's promises. You simply know they are true. To live in the state of having, you must embody the emotions and energy of someone who already possesses the blessings they seek. This means carrying yourself with confidence, peace, and joy, as though your desires have already manifested. This is not about pretending or living in denial, but about choosing to align your internal state with the truth of God's abundance. When you embody this energy, you send a clear signal to the universe that you're ready to receive, and blessings begin to flow naturally into your life. The Bible provides powerful examples of individuals who lived in the state of having. Abraham, for instance, is celebrated for his unwavering faith in God's promises. Even before he saw the fulfillment of those promises, he lived as though they were already his reality. Romans describes God as one who calls into being things that were not. And Abraham mirrored this divine quality by acting in faith. His belief collapsed the gap between the promise and its fulfillment, turning hope into realized blessings. This is the essence of living in the state of having, seeing the promise as already fulfilled, even before it is visible. Living in this state also requires releasing the fear and doubt that can arise when blessings seem delayed. Many people lose faith when they don't see immediate results, but this is where trust in God's timing becomes crucial. Just because you don't yet see your desires in the physical realm doesn't mean they aren't on their way. The universe, under God's direction, is constantly working behind the scenes to align circumstances in ways you cannot yet perceive. Your role is to remain steadfast in faith, knowing that every step of the journey is part of God's plan. Gratitude plays a pivotal role in living in the state of having. When you focus on the blessings already present in your life, you shift your energy from lack to abundance. This shift is powerful because it aligns your vibration with the frequency of receiving. Gratitude is not just about acknowledging what you have, it's about embodying the joy and fulfillment of knowing that more is on its way. This mindset accelerates the manifestation process as it removes resistance and opens the door for divine blessings to flow freely into your life. Another key aspect of this state is the ability to surrender control. Living in the state of having doesn't mean you stop desiring or striving. It means you release the need to dictate how and when your desires will manifest. This surrender is an act of trust, acknowledging that God's wisdom is greater than your own. It frees you from the anxiety and frustration of trying to control outcomes, allowing you to live in peace and certainty. When you let go of control, you make space for God's grace to work in your life, bringing blessings in ways you may never have anticipated. Living in the state of having also transforms your external reality. When you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with abundance, you begin to attract opportunities, relationships, and circumstances that reflect this alignment. Synchronicities increase, doors open, and you find yourself in the right place at the right time. This is not coincidence. It is the result of living in harmony with God's divine flow. By embodying the energy of having, you become a magnet for blessings, drawing them into your life with ease. This state is not just about material abundance. It is about living in alignment with your divine purpose. It's about recognizing that you are already whole, already worthy, and already equipped to fulfill God's plan for your life. When you live in this truth, you stop seeking external validation and start operating from a place of inner completeness. This inner abundance radiates outward, creating a ripple effect that touches every area of your life. In conclusion, living in the state of having is about aligning your mind, heart, and soul with the truth of God's abundance. It requires faith, gratitude, and surrender, transforming your internal state and external reality. By embodying the energy of fulfillment and abundance, you create a powerful resonance with God's divine plan, allowing blessings to flow into your life effortlessly. This is not just a mindset shift. It is a spiritual transformation that empowers you to live fully in alignment with your purpose. When you embrace this state, you step into the fullness of God's promises, experiencing the joy, peace, and abundance that were always meant for you. Stepping fully into divine abundance. The journey from wanting to having is a profound spiritual transformation, one that calls for faith, surrender, and alignment with God's divine plan. It's not merely about achieving goals or receiving blessings. It's about stepping into a new way of being, one where you live in harmony with God's purpose, embody the energy of abundance, and trust that everything is unfolding perfectly in His timing. As we've explored, this shift begins with recognizing the divine calling within your desires, understanding that they are not random, but a sacred invitation to grow and align with God's will. It continues with the act of shifting your mindset, moving from a place of lack to a space of faith, gratitude, and preparation. Trusting in divine timing allows you to release the need for control, embracing the beauty of God's orchestration. Faith and gratitude become your anchors, empowering you to see the blessings already present and those on their way. Ultimately, living in the state of having transforms your internal and external reality, creating a life where abundance flows effortlessly. This is your moment to step fully into the truth of who you are, a chosen one, already equipped with the tools and faith to co-create with God. No longer bound by the limitations of wanting, you are called to live in the freedom, joy, and fulfillment of having. Remember, the blessings you seek are not far off. They are already moving toward you. Your role is to align, trust, and receive. As you embrace this divine shift, may you carry forward the lessons of this journey, to honor your desires as divine sparks, to walk in faith and gratitude, and to trust that God's plan for you is greater than anything you could imagine. The shift has begun, and the blessings are waiting. Step forward in confidence and peace, knowing that abundance, purpose, and fulfillment are already yours.